Happy Sunday, y'all. Kate's Garden Chicken and Cat Rambles, and here's the Cosmo and his two sons. I'm coming out here, and I brought a treat for the frat party boys. This morning they've all been sorry. Well, the little ones haven't, but Cosmo and Laddie have been crowing. Paul walked past my room and it's like, they're all going crazy out there. And I'm just like, well, did you think to go out and look and see why they're crowing? I'm pretty sure it's because they can't find the girls. I know Laddie was standing outside walking up and down. Oops, I'm about to fall off this pallet. This side of the house. My room, bathroom, dressing room, whatever. But he was crowing, and I think it's because he couldn't find flour. And I think it's going to take them a little bit to understand. I mean, they've never not had the girls. They've never not been, especially these three, they've never not had a whole group of chickens to take care of. And Laddie's had flour to himself, sorry about the shadow, for so long out in the yard, but they've all had some corn. And because of, possible rain yesterday, and I hung their cabbage inside there, and they've been, pretty much, this morning I looked out the window both times, and they were not out in the yard running around checking things out. So I think they're all just still a little traumatized from the move. But there's Drago and Doug. You guys got the whole can of corn. So it's about 60 this morning. I did get shade cloth put up on the outside of the coop, around the top. You can kind of see how dark it is in there. And that shade cloth will allow air to get through, like on these hot days coming up, but it won't be. Oop, I spilled my Red Bull all over my thermocell. It won't be as. Let me screen this down. It won't be stifling, but it'll help with the heat. Yesterday evening, I came back from visiting my neighbor, and as soon as I came back from the store, and Laddie was my neighbor at the store, I can't remember, standing up here on the very top of his stepladder, on the very bar. And so I was able to grab him, and since the younger boys were all up in the coop, I went ahead and put him in his coop. Made sure the walls were down, because it did get down really, really low 50s last night. But I'm going to try to get him used back to going in there at night. I mean, I may not be able to break him from getting up in the tree before I leave. And if I can't, I'm just going to have to. Let's just put it that way. All right, I haven't even got to take a sip of my Red Bull. I already splashed up. Coming out to the swing. It's a beautiful morning. I wish this was the sign of that fall was here, but we are supposed to have. There's Kaos. Hold on a second. Bear with me getting in my swing. We are supposed to have a couple days next week that are supposed to get close to 90. I mean, I hope that is just a. Of course, he hit me on the back of my ankle. He bitted me. It makes me bleed. That's okay. I still love him. Laddie! So, sure, Laddie. Oh, here you come out from under the truck. Come here. He's like, what happened to my girlfriend? So I did hear from my friend Rose this morning, and she is the one who sent the little folk art chickens. She's just so thoughtful, and that was so sweet. She has good taste, and she knows what I would love. I know, Mister. I know. He's like, I slept by myself last night. So I think this morning I heard him crowing at different points around the house. So I think he was looking for flour. I think it'll sink in. And I'll make sure I spend as much time as I can every day out here with him and giving him lots of love and absorbing his love, because I know he loves his mama, and I just really don't. I just wish I could put him in a carrier and take him with me. But he can't live in an apartment. He needs to run free and smell the air. So yeah, yesterday was a tough day. You know, it's been the past 48 hours are tough. Friday was spent, chatting with a lady who was coming to get the birds and trying to work out the logistics of taking down the little coop so they could take that with them and use it for the extra girls, blah, blah, blah. And then for it to, at 9 o'clock at night, be canceled. And I could just smack her husband. But, if they're having marital issues and there's turmoil in the family, it's probably not a good place to have my chickens go anyway. But, yeah, I made the one video the last video of all the hens. And then as soon as I stopped that video and was headed in, on my way in the house, I got a ding on my phone. And there was an instant message from this guy named Johan Gomez. Yeah, I know, it's kind of a cross between a Nordic first name and a Hispanic last name, but like I said, he came, he had his one of his daughters with him, and he just opened up the back door to his truck and spread out pee pads and just put all the girls inside the cab with him. And that speaks a lot to how someone feels about chickens and their chickens. And I talked to him. I said, I really don't want these to go to, once they're yours and you own them, it's up to you. I can't tell you what to do and what not to do with your chickens. I said, but please don't call and eat them. And he's like, oh no, we don't do that. We just want the eggs, and I think their children would protest, because the children, apparently the 3 they have left, are really tame. And I have a feeling between the kids and the family, they'll tame up my birds, which they're tame in the fact that they're sweet birds. They just, I never force them to be lap birds and snuggle, and they're not all breeds that comes natural to. Oh, you're going to sit up there with Kaos? Okay, I'll move my feet. Heaven forbid. If you say, come on. Can't make up your mind where you want to go? Yeah, you got feathers down here coming out. Yeah, we're molting. Laddie's the only one that's become a lap chicken, but that was because when he was coming into his hormones, we had to do some lap time and snuggle time, and I had to, let him know that you don't attack the mama. I mean, he still had his moments. You guys have seen some over the past summers. You've seen a couple spots where I got, flogged, and he had some attitude, but he's really, really tamed up a lot. And he likes being talked to, and he likes the company. I mean, he likes hanging out with it. Do you have to peck at my hand? He likes hanging out with Kaos, and I like hanging out with him. And it will be heartbreaking when I do drive away the last time and say goodbye to the 5 cats that are staying here, and have to say goodbye to Laddie and Kaos. I really wasn't. When Kaos got so sick, I really did not think he had a lot of time left in him. And he is very much an old man. He just sleeps all day. He walks around the yard a little bit, walks his little paths, his route around the yard, and then he sleeps and eats. But I think they'll all be fine. I really do. I'm just hoping and praying Paul steps up to the plate. This morning, he was up at like 6:20. And I said, hey, why don't you go let the chickens out? and make sure the cats and feed Chaos, let the boys out, and you know, I want you to get in the habit of doing that every single morning. He just went back, laid down on the couch, and went back to sleep. So I did it because it has to be done. But I'll leave big notes around the house if I have to, on the front door, so he can't go out the door without seeing, let the chickens out. And yeah, when he goes to work at 6, it's still quite dark. But these big roosters, and the fact that this morning I watched them after I opened their gates, and none of them came running out until the sun crested over the trees back there. Until it started, well, or at least it started getting lighter. And Laddie hopped down, but he was kind of in his yard just hanging around the coop. So I don't worry about them coming out in the wee dark hours of the morning. You know, they're all, unlike hens, they got some kick and some power to them. But and I know my neighbors next door will check on them. Just because they've gotten so used to hearing the roosters, they can tell who's crowing and who isn't. And I haven't caught the young boys doing it yet. I know that, you know, Drago does his little roo 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 roo, and that's what it sounds like. It's so high and soft. And I haven't heard Doug do it yet, but I'm sure he will. I just hope I hear him before I leave. So I haven't heard back from my family in the past couple of days, so, you know, let them work out the logistics and stuff. And today I'm going to, I got all the blinds open in the laundry room, dressing room. It's one of the rooms that, when Paul sorted out half the power in the house, that room's light no longer comes on. So at night, if I have to go in there, I take a little hand lantern, and opening the windows should give me some adequate lighting to go in there and sort through a bunch of my clothing. And what I don't take with me, I'm going to leave here, and I might bag it up. There's a citywide garage sale that goes on the second Saturday of September, I think. Or is it second Saturday of October? I think it's in September. But anybody and everybody in town can have a yard sale. They don't have to have a permit. And, you know, it's just one day that the whole... Is it one day? Yeah, I think it's the one day or the one weekend that the whole town, you know, people just take everything out on their lawn, and, you know. So I have a lot of very quality clothes that I can't fit in anymore, or that I'm no longer interested in, and I'm going to donate them to my neighbor and let them have the yard sale. Then again, I might just spread them out here on the hammock and have a little one myself. Being on the outside edge of town, we don't get as much traffic, but I bet if I brought... Okay, so I watched part of the first video, and I think there's going to be parts I cut out. And here's Laddie. He's just sitting here on my lap this morning. I petted him, and, you know, typically he stands, walks around, tries to peck a freckle, and then he's hopped down. He's off running around. But I think he's realized he doesn't have to go check on flower. You know, there's no flower to go check on. So he's just squatted down, and he's just sitting here on my lap. So we're going to go take a look at the pumpkins in a minute. I'll show you what's left of the sad vegetable garden. I picked a couple green tomatoes off of the green zebra plant yesterday. Okay. Oh look, we can do little animals. Yeah, my arms. It's not working. Look, Laddie, I'm scratching you. Okay, I'm just being silly. I'm just trying to be as lighthearted. I can't say that there's anything lighthearted that I'm going through right now, but I'm just trying to keep as much light and humor and sweetness to the forefront of my thoughts and my mind. Thank you. We're right here on camera. You want to go look at the garden with me? Come on, let's go spin around and take a look at the garden. Huh? He's like... So the front garden still got a few little wildflowers popping up. Right here, I don't know if you can see it, is one really tall, it's right here, you can do it, rose. we'll go take a look at it. A creamy white rose. Can you hop down? So Chaos is sleeping in the chair. He does it when I'm out here. I don't normally see him. Laddie was in the chair with him earlier. Come on. Oh, I know. He's like, poor Laddie. I know this morning he's walking around looking for a flower. But look at this. Maybe it's a little, call it a spirit of flower. Come here. I took my flag down. I'm not going to take this flagpole because it's crooked and they're not expensive. I can just get a new one someday. Or who knows, I may take it, but I thought all the roses were done, but look here. The very top, it's got a big, huge stem came up, and that's the little cream colored miniature roses. And you can see the sweet autumn clematis climbing around in what's left of the summer roses. Last of the wildflowers in this patch. And since this is still about, I'm not going to change my channel name. It's still going to be Kate's Garden Chicken and Cat Rambles, even if it's other people's chickens I'm rambling about for a while. And little gardens. And the 3 cats I take with me, but you know, it's a new beginning, a new start to life. And so these are looking a little, I don't know if it's the wind that's blowing them or what, but this is that one side of the pumpkins. But there's a couple in here which they've still got their yellow spots, so they could be, they're not quite dry enough yet. As I said, there's lots of flowers still. I think they are a beautiful flower. Little baby one. Under this flower is another one. There's a bigger one down here. It's still, it looks pretty good size, but it's still awful yellow. Making sure it turns. There's another one. There's another one. So there's like 5 right there in that section, which hopefully will be ready to pluck off. What? Yeah, there's a little spunky cat. One of the ferals lives next door. Hi, Spunky. Is that Spunky? Easy. They look a lot like. I think that's Spunky. I have to see his feet though. So there's little pumpkins in there. And there's one back here that's really getting orange, and I think it may be about ready to be. Okay. Way down here, it's pretty small actually, but it's pretty dark. Yeah, it's getting a little dirty on one side, but it's cute. And these down here are getting a little bit bigger. So I think, I'm sure the powder mildew has had an effect of slowing this side down. And that's the oldest side. But over here I've got a whole bunch of them. And they're all hidden in there, and as long as they keep blooming, they're going to keep making little pumpkins, hopefully. This one got little spider webs and stuff on it. Let me shrink my screen down. It's the smallest one I've seen get this orange. But yeah, we'll let it dry out and leave them miniature pumpkin. So the sunflowers got still a few blooms, but they're looking, yeah, this is where you water the green stalk, but it holds stuff quite well. But yeah, I took my Fisker tool out of there and put it with my garden weasel weeding tool, because they're tools that I'm going to take with me. Even if I'm just doing a small garden in my sister's apartment this next spring, I will need some tools. And they're all, you know, slender, upright things, so if I have to, I can always just, I'm deadheading. You know how much I love deadheading. Not that I love it, but I love the smell of the flowers all over my hands. So I will still need some tools. I was planning on taking these cages. I might not take them all, but the purple and blue one, that galvanized one I want, and then I've got 3 red ones over here. So, and those will be last minute things. Those all stacked together, so they're not going to take up any more room than just one of them. I'll put them upside down over the other tools, and we'll be good to go. Are you guys out in the yard, or are you guys in the coop? So yeah, I thought it was strange this morning that the boys weren't running around the yard doing their thing like normal. I mean, here's Cosmo. He's still the rooster in charge, so he believes. So, you know, he's got to stay on top of everything. But I don't know if it's just a loss of their sisters. But if we look in here, oops, there's the young boys. There's Doug. Doug, you're so handsome. And then, of course, we got Drago. He looks like his daddy, just without the cheek buffs and the beard. He's got a little bit of a beard, but not much. But his coloring, yeah, we definitely know you're your father's son. You're just not turned into a mini jerk face, but yeah. There's Doug. Doug, you're going to be so beautiful. I would love it if somebody did want some young roosters. So I gotta come out and get my wind chimes down. Took a bunch of the signs down. You can see where I wrapped the 3 foot by 6 foot shade cloth that went along here. I wrapped that around so air gets through it, but they're not getting a lot of direct wind on them. I restretched some of that blue tarp so that Laddie can roost in there at night without getting any wind on him. But under the tarp is a wall, so. And if you're familiar with my channel, you know how that was built. But we'll just go over it because we'll be talking about chickens. So this is Laddie's little corn maze. I don't know if it's going to do anything other than what it's doing. I've seen some corn in the fields and their tops don't look like this, so I don't know what this is. It's corn, but it's not normal corn. Hey, handsome. So this is a 2.5, 3 feet by 5 foot large, extra large dog kennel. And it has a solid roof, and hinged to that roof are the walls right here. And they open up this way like a beach cabana walls. So in the summer they open up to let air flow, plus they also give a windbreak on each side of the, like a sunshade on each side of this coop. This is the old wall that was inside the coop. I've got hinges and I could remount it inside for the winter. And I might do that because it's still usable. And the 2x6 that goes across the top of their coop could still hold it, you know, and then we just leave this little door open. This little door's getting kind of crooked. It was designed so that a door could slide down in between these, but I might still use it. It's still in quite good condition. It's going to use this and only cover half the door, but I want the boys to be able, and this is just, I've got to cover this cover. I'll use the vinyl probably to cover the coop about halfway down that midsection so that they have a windbreak. You know, unless something's coming directly out of the east, the southeast, they'll have a windbreak. Yeah, mister, you may run the back of my heel bleed. Where's the little ones? Oh, now after I say that, now they're out in the yard. There's Drago and Doug. Papa Cosmo. Uncle Laddie. I know, you miss her. I miss him too. I miss looking out and watching him. So it's about probably 10 o'clock in the morning and you can see my 4 o'clocks are all still open. This is the latest I've ever seen them all open. And these are the giant marigolds. They have a strong scent too, because I'm smelling my fingers and get myself out of the shade. Once again, I was holding the camera at the flowers and I was standing looking at the flowers, not through the screen. But these are the 4 o'clocks, and they reseed themselves. So I wonder how well they'll come up next year. They might not, because this bed might get overrun with grass through the winter and the early spring and take them out. But I do plan on having more 4 o'clocks this next spring at my sister's, so I'm going to be looking into getting some seeds from them. I don't know if I can harvest any seed from these actually. I'll probably have to just buy new seed. And these, you know, I've seen little seed packets for them, but I really never gave them much thought. But apparently they are a mainstay in this wildflower mix. And I'm not here. Why are you crowing at the house, mister? So I did cover my little electric mower, and I do believe I'm going to take that with me. But yeah, I might just buy this wildflower mix again and, you know, plant it around my sister's, whatever, kitchen windows or around the bulbs. Because I am going to take, like I've said before, I'm going to take a couple bulbs from the big yellow Robert Swanson lily, 2 or 3 from my big white lilies, and a big cluster from the Asiatic, those deep wine red burgundy color, kind of the color of the bike, Asiatics. So, and there's a good spot right in front of my sister's kitchen window, but around them I can do wildflowers. And once again, I'm sitting in my swing, and so you're going to see awkward filming of stuff. I'll just do it this way. I'll just look at some grass. So that was a brief glimpse at the garden. That little white rose just amazes me. It's not as white as Miss Flower, and I'm sure Laddie's going to come right back up here and join me, aren't you? Come on. Come on. Come on. Hey, sweet boy. So that's a little stroll around the yard on this Sunday. I'll put these 2 videos together and get them out to y'all soon. Love y'all, thank y'all. And I mentioned it in my other video, but those little folk art chickens that I showed in the video from yesterday were sent to me from my sweet friend from Rose, who lives in Devon, England. And I guess she was told they wouldn't be here till next Thursday, and so she hadn't said anything about it to me. But I knew somebody had to have sent them, because if something I ordered I would never use my maiden and last name, like is on Facebook, and I think you can find my maiden and last name, I think, through YouTube for my address and stuff. But and that's just because I have a large amount of friends and family who would recognize Robler before they would recognize Boulder Jack. So anyway, there's my sweet, sweet boy. I just love him so much, and I know that yesterday I was sad and down when the girls left, but I'm probably gonna weep like a wounded schoolgirl when I leave this guy. But until then, we're gonna get lots of hugs and kisses and squeezes. And he's like, great, as if I don't already get enough. But I'm gonna try to spend a lot of time out here, so I don't want him to feel lonely. And he was out in the yard by himself before Flower joined him. You know, he's got the other roosters to the fence, and we're gonna try to get him integrated into that group. If not, I have a feeling he is liable to end up being an inside the house this winter rooster. And it'll be up to Paul to clean up his poops, or confine him to an area where it's easier to clean up his poops. But here comes Kaos back. He followed me to the pumpkins Yes, Chaos, I know. I left my little pumpkin in the top of the green stalk. It can dry out there for the day. And he walked over to the chicken yard this morning. He got into the chicken yard with me. And now he's going to come and he's going to lay by his mama's feet. Okay. Sorry. He's like, move your feet over. Finicky old man. Love these guys. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great Sunday. Bye.